Hello, everybody. This is Kim Magdalene, and we're back with the program Common Sense Parenting. And we're going to be going over we're beyond the last chapter. We just finished chapter 11, excuse me, and we are working on our conclusion. And we're going to be discussing a few things in conclusion before we actually get into the lesson plans. So here's something that Glenn wanted to start with because this is a warning. This is about a 9-year-old kid, and this is Dr. Phil. This little video coming up, and you'll see something that happens in time. You may feel like a kid is going to grow out of it, but Glenn, you know that kids naturally don't necessarily grow out of something. If anything, it probably will get worse instead of getting better. So this video demonstrates that, and they're trying what they can. What they're attempting to do to mitigate is something that simply does not work. It will not work, and you can't spend your whole life doing this. But you'll see how desperate these people are to stop this behavior.
Absolutely. In fact, it got so bad that this family had to call an expert, a behavioral expert, to help control this kid. Now, you're going to see something that's scary. You really are. This film that you're going to be watching, as Cam said already, was a Dr. Phil documentary. And the point I want you to get at is this. He's a 9-year-old boy that's probably run the house, called all the shots for the last 9 years. He's been in control of his home, his life, his parents for a long time. And now they finally came to their wits' end. And let me tell you something. These behavioral programs are not cheap at all. And you're going to see this young man, 9 years old, destroy their home, headbutt one of the staff people, and it's not pretty. That's what, and the only reason we're doing Loving Solutions, because you can't wait until the kid is already in crises to try to turn that behavior around. So let's watch it for a few minutes. And I think.
Hey, wait, let's do this afterwards.
No.
Never?
Never.
Support. Once he stepped on that stool to get to that camera, I called in for support so that he wouldn't fall. And so that we could safely contain him until he was calmed down and he was no longer a danger to himself or others. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Are you cool now? No.
Give me that stupid camera.
Brian, does it work?
Oh, don't you touch me, you badass bitch. Let go of me.
That was really nice asking, but I can only do it when you're not being aggressive.
Let go of me, you bastard.
So it's incredibly important to note that my colleagues and I were using crisis intervention procedures which we're specially trained in. During initial assessments, it was noted that Raymond would first engage in less violent behavior like defiance and destroying property before escalating to extremely violent behavior like headbanging and aggression. So once he was escalated, he would start posing a serious risk to himself and others. To reduce this risk, it was imperative to create a pause when he engaged in these pre-escalation behaviors to reestablish our safety. This pause was created by implementing clinically approved emergency safety procedures our team is specially trained in. You may have noticed that we use a 2-person hold. He was saying that it was very painful, although what he was feeling was his struggle to get out of it. So he was safe during.
Okay. I want you to understand what you just saw. That young man at 9 years of age had no fear of anybody. And if he would do that to 2 total strangers, what do you think he was doing to his mom and dad? Yeah, it is an absolute nightmare. And I just beg you not to let it get to that point, because it's so hard to turn that kind of behavior around. Proactive parenting is what Loving Solutions is all about. Common sense parenting is simply rules, boundaries, and consequences. And when we put those together, we then have a solid behavioral plan that started early enough to never get to what we just saw on that video. Okay, Kim?
Yeah. So we're in the book that we started with here called Tackling Life's Challenges. It was written by Glenn himself. It's put together 11 chapters, and now we're in the conclusion. Let me begin by saying that parenting is like going to a foreign country, okay? You've never been here before. You don't know what the challenges are. You don't speak the language. You don't know what it costs. You don't know the geography. You don't know the customs. You don't know the rules. And becoming a parent, especially with a kid who is acting up similar to the one we just looked at, is a complete turntable or turned upside down. Everything that you thought parenting should be just is gone. And it's very confusing, very difficult, and not at all, you will not at all feel like you're in control until you take control. And that's the conclusion here. On page 216, the words call to action. And you can hope they'll get better. You can hope something will happen that's different. But somebody said that the height of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. You have to change something in order to get a different result. And it's going to be the kid's not going to volunteer to change. So it has to come from the parents.
Absolutely. It starts with the adult.
It starts with the thinking adult who wants to come up with the solutions that actually work. So on page 218, in the conclusion of the book, it says, we teach our parents to never be surprised. Be prepared for anything. It could be getting your child to eat breakfast, or maybe it's the battle to get them dressed. Whatever it is, approach it with a new mindset. Approach it with what you've learned. How can you turn a challenge into an opportunity for growth, both for your child and for yourself? Remember, it's not just about changing your child's behavior. It's about evolving as a family. And evolution takes time. It requires patience, perseverance, and lots of love. Love so deeply. So love deeply, be patient, and keep pushing forward. Most importantly, don't do it alone. Share your journey with others. Find a community of like-minded parents, which would be this group right here. Lean on them for support and offer your support in return. Parenting was never meant to be a solo act. Any thoughts on that, Glenn, what we just talked about, what we just read?
Yeah. In conclusion of this book, and it was a long time coming together. I've been doing this now for 24 years. And people said, Glenn, you need to write a book of the experiences that I've had over the years. But I didn't really care about telling you my story. I wanted you to understand there's parents out there in crises every day. What are you talking about, Glenn? Well, how would you like to have the Department of Children and Families, Child Protective Services show up at your house on Mother's Day? Well, we just read, never be surprised, be prepared. Well, when you have a parenting plan, you will absolutely know what to do. You will know what to say and when to say it and how to respond. The bottom line is your kid 99% of the time wants you to react to their negative behavior. Guys, you cannot win a war reacting. You must respond appropriately. When they start acting out, now that you have a plan, there's no reason for you to panic. There's no reason for you not to be able to know exactly what to do at the right time. And if you don't know, hey, you simply say, you know what, John, I want you to go to your room for a few minutes and calm down. And I'm going to decide what we're going to do, because for every decision in life, there will be consequences. And if you don't know what to do, go to your room, pick up the phone and call someone in your support group. Oh yeah, we have an active support group of friends who've been exactly where you are. Pick up your computer and text somebody, email somebody. 24/7, we have answers for parents because they need it. So when Johnny does act out, you simply say, Johnny, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. It's already written down. It's called a behavioral plan. We call it a scorecard. And on this scorecard, he understands and she understands exactly what you expect. In the business world, by the way, this would be called a employee handbook. Hey, you don't want to go to any job and not know what they expect of you. Well, parenting is absolutely no different. Your kids need to understand this is exactly what I want from you. If you do it, this is what you earn. If you don't do it, this is what you lose. One of the things that Child Protective Services and the Department of Children and Family doesn't want to hear from a child is they took something away from me. Seriously? Oh yeah. This family was asked, why did you take your child's phone away? No, sir, we didn't take it away. She lost it. He lost it. What do you mean? Well, the child knew if they acted out this way, they were going to lose the privilege of having their phone for 24 hours or until they calm down. And they can take as long as they want to calm down. We teach parents we cannot control our kids. Oh, by the way, if we could control these kids, none of us would be on this call today. Not one of us. So we believe with all of our heart, there's a better way to raise a kid. I can go on for a long time, Kim, but that's the nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah, the bottom line is, we're going to be going through step-by-step procedures on what to do. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, in upcoming videos. But truly what it's all about is, like you say, when you have an out of control child, that's what it means, out of control. So the child is uncontrollable. Therefore, what you can do is you control their environment. You
Correct.
Control everything else around them.
Yep.
And because of that, believe it or not, they respond to that.
Yep.
And it can be shocking how well they respond to that. I have an educably mentally handicapped daughter, and she was giving us some trouble. And I happened upon one thing that straightened her out permanently. And that was, and remember, she's mentally handicapped. I said, okay, we're going to take away your next surprise. And she was so upset. Just take it away. Well, you know what a surprise, take it away a surprise. And she's like, oh no, don't take away my surprise. And you know what? It worked. It worked quite well, and we had to come up with surprises we were going to take away, but you know what? Her behavior it was important for us to help her with her behavior. And as simple as that, a simple thing like that, she did not want to lose something of value.
Yeah.
When there's something of value to lose that's greater than what they're trying to gain from the behavior, then they will weigh the loss against the gain, and they will say it's not worth it.
Exactly. That's what we want them to realize is whatever they're fighting for, there's going to be a consequence, and they're going to have to answer that question. Is it worth losing something to get what I'm fighting for? Most of the time they'll say, nope, it ain't worth it. The bottom line is, once they figure out they didn't get to do something because of their choices, that's when their behavior will start to change. You lost your driving privileges because of your choices. Mom and dad wanted you to drive. Mom and dad wanted you to be a cheerleader. Mom and dad want you to have good things, but you have to earn those things. And when they figure it out that I'm my own worst enemy, look out. Behavior starts changing real quick.
Right. Well, Glenn, thanks for being in on these programs, and looking forward to the lessons. That's what's coming next. You know, the practical implementation and execution of this whole thing, and I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, we skimmed through the book just to give you some ideas of what you could get if you went ahead and bought the book, and we highly encourage that you do. But when we go into the actual curriculum starting next week, then we will be discussing how to put it together. Not only are we going to be discussing it, but we're going to invite parents that's been around us for many years to tell their story and how they were able to put peace in their home. So I'm excited about it, and I hope you guys will be too. Kim, thank you, and we will call it a night.
Thank you. See you, Glenn.
Uh-huh.